So if you're someone that's been thinking about starting some sort of an e-commerce business, but you're not really sure of exactly where to start, you've clicked on the right video, because what I want to do is go through all of the foundational steps that you need to be aware of when it comes to increasing your chances of having e-commerce success and being able to make money on the internet. I'm someone that was able to start an e-commerce store back when I was working my 9-to-5 job, maybe 6 years ago now. And since then, I've been able to live a life of freedom, travel anywhere that I want, live in whatever country that I want. And it all started off by me starting an e-commerce store. So stick around for this entire video from start to finish, because there's going to be some useful information that might just change your financial future. Now, before I get into any of the steps that you need to know, what I want to quickly do is define exactly what an e-commerce business is. Most people out there have heard the term e-commerce, but they're not really sure of exactly what the purpose of an e-commerce store actually is. Now, I'm just going to quickly break it down. So all it simply is where you're going to sell products to people on the internet that are interested in buying those products. It's a fairly straightforward business model, because all you're doing is buying low and selling high. For example, if you're able to source a product that you can get for around $5, but you're able to sell it for around $50, that's going to be around $45 gross profit. That's a basic overview of how an e-commerce business works. Of course, there's some other intricacies and nuances, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, one of the first official things that you're going to need to do is decide on what type of product that you want to sell. And for you to come to this conclusion in the best possible way, you need to understand the different types of products that are out there. The mistake that most beginners make when they first start an e-com business is that they want to sell a product that they're interested in, they haven't done any research, or they don't understand the fundamentals behind that product. The first most important thing that you need to understand about all of the different products that you can sell is that they target two different types of shoppers. They target either search-based shoppers, or you're going to be targeting spontaneous shoppers. When it comes to products that fall under the spontaneous shoppers category, I would say that this isn't necessarily the best way to go, because you're essentially going to be putting a product in front of someone that doesn't have their credit card in their hand ready to buy that item. I'm sure that you know what I'm talking about. For example, when you go onto Instagram, TikTok, and you're scrolling through and you see those different ads that pop up, you didn't necessarily open up your Instagram account for you to buy something. I'm not saying that this method of selling a product doesn't work, but if you go with the alternative route, which is targeting search-based shoppers, people that have opened up their laptop, opened up their mobile phone with the intention to buy an item, in my own personal experience, I believe that this is a better way to go as a complete beginner. But of course, when it comes to these two different types of shoppers, there's going to be thousands, if not millions of different products that fall under this category. But I would say that if you are looking for a search-based product to sell, your best bet is going to be to figure out what is selling well on Amazon. Amazon is the biggest e-commerce platform in the entire world. And I'm not saying that you necessarily need to sell the product on Amazon. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later on. But you can use the data that's on Amazon when it comes to getting an idea of which type of keywords customers are searching for, what type of items customers are spending money on. I found this to be the quickest way to find a winning product that can generate you thousands of dollars every single day. But let me show you exactly what I'm talking about, right? So I'm just going to log into this software over here called Helium 10. This is what I use when it comes to finding winning items that are being sold on Amazon right now. And it's directly connected to Amazon's product database, so it's very efficient when it comes to finding winning products really quick. So as you can see, I'm on the black box section, and all I need to do once I get to this point is select the type of category that I want to sell products in. So I'm just going to select a random category. Let's select sport and fitness, and we're also going to select beauty and personal care. Then what I'm going to do is say that I want the product to be generating over $10,000. And I also want the item to sell between $30 to $100. The reason for this is that you don't want to sell a product that's priced really cheap, and you don't want to sell a product that's priced over $100, because that's going to lead you to a lot of issues when it comes to refunds, customers wanting to send it back, or if you get something called a chargeback as well. You don't want to be dealing with chargebacks for items that are $200, $300, $400 as a beginner anyway. But once I've done this, what I'm going to do is just click on search. And we're not done yet. What we need to do now is come over here to edit filters. And what I'm going to do is set the shipping size to small. And the reason why I'm asking Helium 10 to show me small lightweight items is because you don't want to sell a bulky heavy item. This is another trap that you want to avoid as a beginner, because when it comes to building up an e-com business, if you're able to find a product that is lightweight and it's not going to cost too much when it comes to shipping, and it's also got a high value, this is going to help you when it comes to being able to generate more profit than selling a bulky heavy item that's going to have a large shipping fee when it comes time for you to ship it from your supplier to yourself or from your supplier directly to your customers. So these are the things that you need to think about when it comes to building a profitable e-com business. But as we can see over here, Helium 10 has now come back with all of these different products that are selling really well. One of the first things that I do is sort the revenue from highest to lowest. It's then going to come back with all of these different items, and the amount of revenue that these different products are bringing in on a monthly basis is ridiculous. For example, there's this item over here that brought in over $180,000 just in the last 30 days alone. And by the looks of it, it looks like a mouth guard. So now that I know that people are spending over $180,000 on a mouth guard, this shows that there's potential when it comes to me selling this type of item myself. And we can see that this is true because if I just go over to Google Trends, I've just typed in mouth guard right there, and ever since 2017, more and more people have been going onto Google to search for this particular product. And Google Trends is also showing me that these are the different types of mouth guards that seem to be doing well right now. So just like that, within a few minutes, you saw me go from not having a clue on what type of e-com product I might want to sell with a brand new e-com business to instantly knowing that night mouth guards seem to be doing really well. So if you also wanted to check out Helium 10 and follow along with everything I just showed you right now, you're going to be able to do that. I'm going to leave the direct sign up link to them in my description down below. But this now brings me on to one of the next things that you need to know as someone that is thinking about building up an e-commerce business from scratch, which is what is the best platform to sell on. Now, when I say platform, what I mean by this is there's different ways that you can list your product for sale for you to be able to receive money in the bank. But I would say that there's three main platforms that you can sell on, which is either going to be eBay, Shopify, or Amazon. These are the three different platforms that allowed me to generate my first $1 million on the internet. You know, I'm not someone that was the smartest in school. I wasn't necessarily special, but because I understood that these are the best platforms to use, I was able to completely change my life, and you're going to be able to do the exact same thing. But it's also important for you to understand how all of these different platforms work and which one is the best one for you to start off with. So when it comes to Amazon and eBay, these are both marketplaces, which means that people, millions of people, go onto these two different platforms every single day, searching for products that they want to buy. Now, of course, this is a great way to get started as a beginner because you don't need to worry about driving traffic to your products. All you got to do is list your product for sale. And as long as you've made sure to do Amazon SEO as well as eBay SEO, which stands for search engine optimization, there's a chance that you're going to be able to get your product ranked in the search results and be able to generate sales that way. Now, on the other hand, when it comes to Shopify, the way that this works is it's a platform that allows you to build your own e-commerce website. The main benefit to using something like Shopify in comparison to eBay and Amazon is that you have full control of how you want to run your business. You're not restricted to any selling limits. You don't have to follow any specific rules when it comes to how you can list your product. But the only disadvantage is that you're going to have to get customers on your website for them to buy your items. I wouldn't necessarily say that this is a negative thing, but there is going to be a learning curve that's going to go into it to make sure that you execute it in the right way. Now, the one tip I would give you when it comes time for you to pick a platform to sell on is that you want to just pick one. You don't want to pick 3 or even 2, because all that's going to happen is that you're going to be overwhelmed when it comes to learning 2 different platforms all at the same time. If you're able to put laser focus into one platform, build that up, and get to a certain point, a stage where you feel comfortable, that's when you can now start adding other platforms. But the question now is, which platform do you pick? Now, of course, it's completely up to you. All of these different platforms are great, but if you're looking for the easiest way to get started, maybe even the cheapest way to get started, then maybe building up some sort of a Shopify website is going to be your best bet. This is because there's ways that you can get started with a Shopify e-commerce business that doesn't take up too much time. You can even get your e-commerce business set up within a matter of hours. And there's also a way that you can use Shopify using the dropshipping method, which is where you don't even need to ship out the products yourself. Essentially, you can build a website, make sure that it's branded around the type of items that you're going to sell. You're then going to load products onto that Shopify store and send traffic to that store. And whenever you make sales, your dropshipping supplier is going to pick, pack, and ship out the products directly to your customers. But let me show you how easy this can be. So as you already know, we found the night mouth guard on Google Trends. It's doing really well. People are searching for it. So if I just go over to this tool over here called AutoDS, AutoDS is one of the best tools that I've personally used when it comes to finding suppliers that can dropship products directly to your customers that are based all around the world. You know, it's really efficient to use. They've got over 20, 30 different suppliers that work with AutoDS. And I'm just going to quickly show you how efficient it is to use it. So if I just type in the item that I'm thinking about selling right there, night mouth guard, and come over here to supplier, as you can see, these are all of the different ones that we can choose from. But the one that I'm going to click on is AliExpress. And straight away, as you can see, these are all of the different choices that we have when it comes to all of these different products that we can sell, as well as all of these different suppliers that we can use. Like for example, there is this anti-snoring mouth guard that's only going to cost around $6 when it comes to buying it from the supplier. This is what the product looks like, as you can see. But if I just copy the keyword of the product just like this, and then come over to Google Shopping and paste it in there just like that, straight away we can see all of these different results that pop up. And we can also see people that are selling the exact same snoring mouth guard that I was able to find on AutoDS. E.g., there's this one over here that's selling it for around $33, even though it's only going to cost around $6 when it comes to buying it from that supplier. And by the looks of it, it also seems like they are using Shopify when it comes to selling this item as well. So I'm sure that you get the basics of what goes into starting an e-commerce business, figuring out which type of products people are searching for, which ones they're spending money on using a tool like Helium 10. From there, you're going to be able to get a keyword to make sure that people are actively searching for that item on somewhere like Google Trends. If people are searching for it, you're now going to be able to use a tool like AutoDS when it comes to finding a supplier. And of course, if you did want to go down the route of building a Shopify store and linking a product from AutoDS directly onto your store so that you can start driving traffic to it so that you can generate sales, you're going to be able to use this AI store builder. Now, I've recently shown this AI store builder on my channel recently, but it works in such a quick and efficient way because essentially what you're going to be able to do is build a completely free Shopify store. You're not going to have to pay anything when it comes to using this specific AI store builder. All you're going to need to do is insert your name, email address, password, create your account. From there, it's going to ask you for what niche that you want your store to be centered around. As an example of showing you how it works, I'm just going to click on sport and fitness. I've shown this AI store builder on my channel recently, and so many of you have been able to benefit from it. And it's a really good tool to use because you're also going to be able to get Shopify for an entire 3 months. Everything is integrated directly into this store builder. So it's going to be able to build it, make sure that everything is optimized. And once you do everything, it's not going to take more than 5 minutes. You're going to have a fully built Shopify website. This takes away a lot of the heavy lifting when it comes to starting your e-com business, because if you had to build something like this yourself as a complete beginner, it will take you maybe a week for you to understand what you need to do. But by using something like this, you're going to have full access to the back end of your Shopify account. You can make any changes that you want. You can list whatever products that you want as well. Once you've got your Shopify store up and running and you've built it using the AI store builder, you're going to be able to now use AutoDS when it comes to instantly linking a product to your store by clicking on import draft, and then just follow through with the steps to make sure that everything has been listed on your Shopify store in the correct way. So those are the key things that I wish I knew when I first started my e-commerce business. And I would say that the overall thing that I've learned when it comes to being successful with an e-commerce store is all going to come down to consistency. Things are not going to happen overnight. You're not going to be able to build your e-commerce store and start generating tens of thousands of dollars within 24 hours. You may get your first sale, then you might get 4 more sales after that, then 10 sales after a couple weeks. But with consistency comes experience, and you're going to soon figure out what you need to do when it comes to growing your sales to over $1,000, $2,000 every single day. It's those that quit too soon at the very first obstacle that don't get the chance of being able to change their life as well as their family's life with an e-commerce business. Now, if you're enjoying this video so far, you've gotten any sort of value from it, press the like button. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to subscribe as well and hit the bell notification. And if you wanted more of a step-by-step understanding of what goes into starting an e-com store where you don't need to ship out the products yourself, you don't need to buy any inventory in bulk, you just need to use an AI store builder, connect it to winning products, and start driving traffic to that store, I'm going to leave a completely free course, top link in the description. And if you also wanted to watch a recent YouTube video that I made a couple days back, where I go through some of the best side hustles that I believe are going to perform well over the next maybe the next couple years, click the link over there, check that out straight after this, because that video is done quite well. It's helped out a lot of people, and I'm sure that it's going to help you out too. But other than that, guys, I'll see you on that next video. Make sure you stay safe out there. Peace.